Now we can move next implementation, that is favorite. For that we need to go in the type file. Here we have to add toggle favorite. We need to create here interface. For that, export interface I toggle favorite action. Type will be toggle favorite, and the data which we need, either we can take id only or whole object. So I'm going with id. Inside task list we have a favorite icon. I'm writing here on click event, and inside on click we need to call the dispatch method. Okay, so let me write here on favorite click, and I can pass the id task dot id. Let me create this method here, const, and here I'm taking the id which is of string. I can dispatch now. Type is favorite again. Action type enum dot toggle favorite, and data we need to pass id. That's all from here. In task list I'm saving it. Inside to do provider, here we will get the calling reducer with type as favorite. So let's write action type enum dot toggle favorite. Okay, now we need to write the logic. For that, let me create here method toggle favorite action. I can take the state which is I to do state, and action of type I toggle favorite action. Okay, that is imported from type file. Fine. And from here we need to return the state, and we are updating active task which will get from toggle favorite. That action needs action state and action data. Let me add I toggle favorite. We need to add here. We have written this method, we are calling this method, but we are not returning anything. So for now let me return state dot active task just for now. So error is gone. Now we have id and active task also, and we need to toggle the favorite icon. Okay, let me clone the active task, state dot active task. I'm taking it in the clone active task, and on from here I can find the, this is nothing but I task. Okay, so here we can have find method. Now from find or find index we can use. Let's do it. X dot id equals to action dot data dot id. Okay, so here we will get index. If that id is not there, I think it will return -1, and if id is there, it will show us the id. So we can have index greater than equals to 0, means we will find the id. Clone active task. Okay, this index. Okay, let me take this again, and whatever favorite data is there, that we need to clone. Okay, so it will not be used like that. Here we need to use property is favorite. So what we are doing, if we found index, then we are updating that task, specifically this property we are updating with value of is favorite is there, it will get toggled and will set at the same place. This is how we can update the task data, and we can return that as well. Okay, fine, let's save it and check. Fine, let me click. Okay, if you see it is working. Now what I need, if it is a toggled one, we can change the color. We can have different colors. That we need to do in task list. Okay, we have icon style. Here we can write if task dot is favorite, merge style that we need to import from Fluent UI React, and there we have this class for favorite icon, and we can append the properties as well. So color is blue. So this is how we can merge the two class. Let me check. Okay, fine. So favorite icon is done now. Before moving further, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and also like the video and provide your comments, because comment is what motivates me to create new videos and on new projects. And also please send these videos to your friends so they can also watch. Now we can focus on the teaching bubble. So on clicking on info button, we can show the teaching bubble with title and description. Let me show what I'm talking. Here is a info icon. If I click on this, here I'm showing the teaching bubble. Task is a title and then description. Okay, now let's move further. Let me close all this first and open task list. This is the info icon, correct? So what we can do is we can move this to another component. Let me create task description dot tsx. Okay, and rsc tab. Okay, here I can move this one font icon, and task list style also we need to import. I can take a reference from this place, task list style. Okay, let's remove the React import. Fine. I can, instead of div, I can just keep the React fragments, and let's call the task description component from task list. So here, and let me import. Okay. Now we need teaching bubble to copy here. Let me copy it. Take the teaching bubble. I can keep it here. Teaching bubble. Let's import teaching bubble. Fluent UI React. I don't need primary button, secondary button, dismiss. I need header and description. Okay, and button ID we need. Let's check what is button ID. So button ID we need to provide to the element on which we are going to show the teaching bubble. Okay, so we need to add button ID also to the font icon. Okay, and how we can create button ID is we need to use ID, and this use ID from React hooks. Okay, fine. So let me use it at this place. Okay, so what we can do is, instead of this hook, we can use the task ID, task.id. Okay, let me create type of prop, and I'm going to take here task. Okay, which is of I task. Let me import from type file, and let me take props, which is of type prop or props. Here we need to use equals to props, and let me take task here, task from props, or I can directly use it at this place. It's not a problem. Let me delete it. So this is what we call object destructuring. Okay, and I can take that task ID as button ID, so it is here. So from task list we need to provide task here, which is a task, or yes, which is a task. Let's save it and check how it looks. Let me refresh. Oh, something is breaking. Okay, it is breaking because in our ID we have dash. Okay, and which is not able to like query selected. This is what it means. Okay, for that we can do one more thing. We need to generate a random ID, or we can use React Fluent UI hook that we found. I will go with Fluent UI React hooks. So in another PowerShell, I can install it, Fluent UI React hooks, and I can import. I can use this use ID hook here at this place. Okay, let me import use ID from React hooks. Okay, I already written. That's not a problem. We can have here a state that we can also follow from the example from Fluent UI. That's not, because we have to do the same thing. Okay, so let's use this use boolean. Okay, use boolean that we need to import from Fluent UI React hooks, and teaching bubble visible we need to write here, and if it is true then only show. For that I need to wrap teaching bubble component. Okay, and on clicking of font icon, I need to call toggle teaching bubble visible. Okay, just like this. On this button, I'm calling, they are calling this function. We need to do the same thing. Okay, same thing. And instead of here, headline is task dot title, and this is our description. Let's delete it. Task dot description. Okay, fine. One more thing we forgot to do first. If there is no description available, we need to make this icon as disable. So how we can do is, we can check here, task dot description is there. Okay, then icon style will be shown. Else we need to merge styles that we need to import from Fluent React UI, and here we need to pass icon style, one more style for disable, task list style dot disabled. This I'm going to create now inside task list style. Here disabled I style. So let me create here. So disable means what? Color should be gray, and on hover we will not show any cursor. Okay, fine. Yeah, we have done almost the thing. Let's check now. So here we don't have any description for all these tasks, that's why it is disabled. So we can do one thing, we can add one more task to read book at least 10 pages, and save it. Okay, task saved. Oh, but the form is not clear. We have a bug here, we will see it later, but jump to the task now. Okay, so we have description, that's why it is showing. It is enabled, and on clicking of it we can see the description, and on clicking outside or on clicking of it again, it will get close. Okay, let me add one more. Do programming practice, follow learn to code with Sagar, and let's click on it. Okay, task added. So now we have now two tasks which have description. Let's check on here, follow learn to code with Sagar. Okay, again clicking on it, it will close. Now check for task to read book. Okay, correct. So I think we have done with this. Oh, we have one more bug. For that we have here on dismiss we need to call same method, toggle teaching bubble visible, toggle teaching bubble visible. If task is disabled, means when task don't have description, we are disabling it, and if we have description, then only we can assign the toggle teaching bubble visible function to on click, else we just have a empty function. Now let's check it. Okay, that's perfect. Now we can implement task edit action. Okay, on clicking of this edit, it will jump to task form. It will show its data like title and description. Here we will see update task button. On clicking of that, task will get updated. So there are multiple ways of doing this. First, we need to send the task ID to task form. Usually we do that if we are following the routing, we add the task ID or edit ID in the URL itself. But as in this application, we are not using that. So we just need to pass edit task ID as a props from one component to other component. Let's first go to the home.tsx. So from home.tsx we have POs. In task list we are having the list, also the edit font icon. From task form we are going to show the task. So from this place we need to get the edit task ID, and that we need to pass to the task form. Let's do that inside task list. Okay, let me close this. Inside task list we have this icon, edit node. On click I can set that ID on edit task click. Okay, and there I can pass the task ID which I need to edit, and this function we can take from the home. Let me create here first edit task ID, set edit task ID, and use the state to hold that, to create it state. For now I'm making it null. but this can be string or null. Okay, when we have string, it means we need to edit. We need to open the task form and show edit button, and when it is null, then we don't need to show. Send this set edit task id function to task list on edit task. Let's check in the inside task list what parameters we can do. We can pass no, for now no parameter we can pass. So we can create type of it, set edit task. Okay, here we need to take task id which is of string, and we are not going to return anything. Okay, and I can directly write here props, and I can directly destructure this method set edit task. Okay, and I can call this here directly. Oh, sorry, at this place on edit task, set edit task. So let's jump to the home. Here we need to pass this method set edit task id, set edit task id, or we can do something like this id string, and we can set this id, but the function name is different inside task list, so we need to use set edit task. Let's use this set edit task. I think we can directly call now in this way. Okay, now we can pass this edit task id to task form. Edit task id we can pass to task form. Hope you guys understand this what I'm doing. I'm just passing a function to task list. Okay, so whenever user click on edit icon, it will call that function with task id that will get set inside the edit task id. So once it is updated, we will pass this id to task form. Now we need to check inside the task form. Let's move inside task form. Here we are going to use only single form for add and edit the task both. As we are passing props to task form, we need to create type of it, edit task id. Fine, and I can take that here, edit task id from props. So what we need, if we have edit task id as string or null, anything. Okay, string or null, because whatever edit task id we are going to send, its original type is string or null. That's why. If we have edit task id, let me use effect, because we will need to do all the activity after first render, and we will do only when if there is change in edit task id. So only when we have edit task id. So what we need to do now at this place, what happen if we start using use effect, it means first the form will render, and after that our use effect will get called. We need to take the title and description of that task id. Okay, and we have task id list in to do context, so we can take the active task from use context, and from active task we can filter. Okay, so we have here x is nothing but a task, so let me write here task dot equals to edit task id. So instead of filter I can use find. So find will return the first and only one item, filter return whatever the occurrence are there. So let me use task data here. So inside task data we have the title, description, is favorite, and all the data related to task. Now we need to set title and description, that we can set to these variables title and description. We need to move it a bit up. Okay, here, so for now in title we have only two methods, value and on change. We cannot create it again. We need to create some method inside use input now. So let me create here set. Inside state we can pass value, okay, which is of type string, or value, or give some name because we have already variable with that name, so it will be confusion for us. Data, and we can call set value method, and we can pass here data. and we need to return this method here. Okay, now let's check inside task form. So at this place we have task data, and we need to update the title dot set. So once we call this, title will get set. Task data dot title and description dot set task data dot description. So we can pass some empty data if no data or undefined data is there. We can do that. So after this step, whatever the title and description is there, that will be shown on the UI. Inside home, okay, inside home, when user call this method, on clicking edit icon, we need to set the edit task ID. Also we need to set the selected key as well. Okay, for that let me create a method edit task. Okay, and I can take ID task. I need to call set edit task and provide their ID. Also I need to jump to the next tab, that is task form. So in set selected key, I use pivot key enum dot task form. This method I need to pass to set edit task. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Let's check now. Going to the task form, let's go to here. Okay, it's working properly. Now we are on task form. Now we need to show the update task button instead of add task. Let's do that in task form. Here is the button. So what we can do, we can remove it here. We can check if we have task edit task ID, means we need to update task, else we need to add task. As a good practice, we are not going to write all string here. We will add that in string.json. Let's add task button, add task, then update task button, update task. Okay, save it and import to do string from a backslash string.json. So here I can use to do string dot update task button, and instead of add task, to do string dot add task button. Okay, let's save it. Now on this button click, form submit function will get called, and if we have edit task ID, it means we need to call update task action. Okay, else we need to call add task action. Okay, not action, you can name it a different name. Okay, so I'm creating these functions. So what we need to do in add task action, I need to move all this. Okay, and I need to create update task action, const update task action. So what we need now, we need to create this object, correct, because that's what we need to pass. Let me copy it here. Instead of ID, we are going to pass edit task ID, whatever, because ID will be same, ID will not be different as it is string or null. So I can pass is favorite should not be false. It should take the whatever value is there, it should take that. So how we can take is, we have all the data in accrue task, correct, then we can find it again just like previously we did. Okay, from task ID equals to edit task ID. Okay, and this I can take inside the task data, and this task data I can pass here in, or I can pass false, and task data dot ID I can do, or empty. So empty, this is not a correct. Okay, we should wrap all this inside the if condition. This thing will not happen, so we can remove now I can remove this question mark because we provide a condition here. Okay, now it looks good, and this data we can pass or we can dispatch now. Okay, so here we need to write dispatch object. Inside type we need to write like action type enum dot update. Okay, we have not created update yet, and there we need to provide the data. Okay, sorry, comma, and we can provide this data. Okay, now let's jump to type file. Inside type file, yeah, we have this enum. Here I need to write update. Okay, and I need to create one more interface for update. In export interface I update action. Okay, so type will be action type enum dot update, and data will be of type I task. So let's save it. Inside task form it looks correct, so it will dispatch this action. On dispatch we will get control in to do form, to do provider reducer method. Now we need to write here one more case, action type enum dot update. Okay, and just like this I can just copy here, paste it here. Okay, one more thing, we need to write this I update action with I reducer action type. And inside to do provider, here I need to create one more function, that is update task action. These things as a props. Instead of I reducer action I can mention specific interface. We need to use this function at this place. Okay, so what update action means? So in JavaScript we need to take index first, and on that index update new data, and third we need to return new state. This is how updation can work. Okay, so we already have like these things in toggle favorite. So we are taking the index. If index is greater than 0, then we are updating. So we already have this, and we are returning also. So same thing, I'm copying it here. Okay, so I'm first taking the clone, then I'm finding the index with the help of the id. Okay, and if we found that index is greater than 0, it means I need to replace that index value with new data. So not just favorite icon, favorite property, but I need to replace all the data from action dot data. Okay, I hope you understand this. And one more, in task form on task update we need to set message like task updated. One thing we forgot, that is on add task we need to reset the title and description. Okay, so how we can do? Inside title we have set method, correct? So we need to pass empty. Same for description, description dot set, here empty. If we don't have correct id, we can trigger the message with error here, like error, and error message should be error while updating task. We have here hard coded, so we need to use show message dot message. We should write this inside else condition, this message in home.tsx. So here we have on link click and atom. So if, okay, so if atom dot props dot atom key not equals to pivot keys enum dot task form. Okay, if it is not this one, it means either it is task or completed. That time we need to set edit task id as null. So yeah, I think almost these 4 icons we have completed. Let's work on this part. Once I click on the checkbox, I need to remove this task from active task data, and I need to move this from active task to completed task. Okay, so let's jump. Let me close all this first. Close all. Inside to do provider or inside types, we have, this is what our main state is. Here we have active task, and we need one more, that is completed tasks. Okay, which is of same type, I task array. Okay, once we add here, Now inside to do provider we need to add at this place as well, because we added in I2Do context. So here completed task, that is empty. Okay, at one place we have added. Then in values also, actually in to do context provider we have added, so we need to add in values completed task empty. In use reducer, here we are passing data, that is only active task we are passing. Let me take its mention its type I to do state. So here we need to add completed task. At starting it will be empty. Okay, now it looks perfect. Let's save it. Now what we need, we have done the background. Now inside the task list, if anyone click on the checkbox, we need to dispatch that ID on check, on change. Okay, on change task completed. Okay, and here ID not task completed, check box clicked handler, that we can pass the task.id, task.id. Okay, and we can dispatch. Again we need to create one more type in type file, so I'm not writing now. I will first create in type file. We have here, okay, we already created update. Oh sorry, but it's not update, we are need completed, and it's interface export interface I completed action. Okay, and here we will need type, which is of action type enum dot completed, and data only id will work, and this we need to add in iReducer action. Okay, correct. And inside task list, now we can dispatch that. Dispatch type is action type enum dot completed, and data is id, data contains a id. Okay, now inside to do provider we need to write here one more case action type enum dot completed. Okay, and I'm copying it, and here completed task action. Let's do it. Const complete task action. Okay, so here I'm just taking the same thing. So what we need to do exactly, if you look here, if I mark it completed, it means I'm deleting it from active task and I'm adding inside completed task. Okay, this is what we are doing. Then only it will reflect. Means for active task we need to delete it. So I can directly use it. This one, will that work? No, because in delete action method we are using iDelete action, but for update we have sorry, but for completed we have different interface. Okay, so no problem. For future thing also we can create a separate action, that's better. So complete task action, I just giving it this name, and I can use this in at this place. Deleted task action, I'm replacing it with completed task action. So here is a spelling mistake, and to rename completed task action. Okay, and here instead of I delete action, I completed action. Now I need to add that task in completed task, correct? To do that we need to modify this method. So I will take the task data which we are going to delete from active task. Okay, so completed task data that I can take by from active task. Okay, active task dot find, and here, or sorry, okay, yeah, find task. How we do is task dot id equals to action sorry, action dot data dot id. Okay, so here we will get completed task data, and we are deleting this from active task. Okay, so we need to return here two things: active task, this is a filter data, and completed task, completed task. Okay, completed task is array of completed task data, and destructuring of state dot completed task. Okay, and I will use this directly, not in this way. I'm removing it. It is a destructuring. Okay, so we can make it simple. We can take this result inside a variable called data, and directly we can do like active task from data, and completed task from data dot completed task. Okay, let me check spelling. Okay, so we are doing something wrong. So inside completed task, at this place, if there is no data found, it is returning undefined, and that undefined is getting assigned to complete task. So that's why it is returning iTask or undefined of array, undefined array, which is not acceptable. Create one more, like completed task. Okay, and when we have complete task data, then only we will do this thing. Else we will just return state dot complete task, and this thing we are going to return as a completed task. So there is some spelling mistake, need to correct it. Now it's fine. In task list, okay, so at this place we need to write type. We made some spell mistake. Let's refresh and check. Okay, now it's getting completed from task that we need to show in the completed. Now inside to do provider, at this place we are just assigning empty, so now we need to provide it completed task list. Okay, fine. Let's check one more time, refresh it. By default we have 3 tasks. Check in the states of the context provider. Inside value we have active task, that is 3, and complete task is empty. Now I am completing it. Let me remove this one. Okay, so inside component, now it comes in the completed task and 2 in the active task. Okay, now it is removed from active task, it comes to the completed task. If you want to check here, is favorite is true. If I click on it, is favorite is false. Now the last part is we need to show the completed list. So we can use same list like this one, like a task, but as we have some disabling thing, we need to disable something. So we are disabling some checkbox, title, and then favorite icon, and we are showing only 2. I think it's better create a separate file. So let's do it. Inside list, let me add completed task list.tsx sc to create a code snippet for it. Let me copy code from task list. So I need to copy all this div inside completed, and I need to call on render cell from task list. Let me close this product file. I'm copying this on render cell here. Okay, fine. I need to import types stack from Fluent UI checkbox also. Then task list style, no, that we don't know. So actually we will have checkbox, but that will be in disabled state, so we don't need any on click event here. Task description we will need, so let's import that. Font icon, let's import it. Merge style also, we are not going to change any favorite and to non-favorite, so let's remove on click of it. We will not have edit node inside completed, so remove it. Okay, so we will just need on task delete. Okay, and we need a list of active tasks. So let's check how taking we are taking from use context. So let's take it. Let me import use context also from React, and to do context from to do provider. So I don't need active task, I need completed task. This is what I'm going to use at active task, completed task. So completed task will get render. Now I need task list style. Let's try importing. Okay, it's getting imported. Okay, so I think it's fine for now. Let me comment this one. Okay, I have commented it. Now let's import completed task list from home.tsx from this pivot in last pivot. Okay, okay, let's import by control dot. Now let's check. We are on 3000 port where we are developing. Let's go to the completed. Okay, so in completed we have two tasks. In task we have one. So let me finish it and go on to the completed. Okay, so we are here. So we are getting the list in the completed. Now what we need to disable these things, these buttons, title, then this star button. Let's move to the complete task list. As you know, we already have created disable class. Okay, so that we can add class name task list style dot disabled. Okay, to the favorite icon also we just need to have the merge style, because we are going to merge with disable style. So task list style dot disabled. Okay, for favorite also, and for title also. So let me wrap this inside span. Okay, for this also I need to write disable. Either I can shift this to this tag, that will be better. Let's check how it looks. Okay, so no, button is not disabled yet. For that, in checkbox we have disabled with disabled property, so we need to add that. Now check. Okay, it looks perfect. And enable, this icon will get enabled only when there is description. Okay, okay, that's fine. Now we need to implement the delete. So same like a delete, but here this time we are going to delete from the active task, sorry, from the completed task. So let's move to the type file. In type file we will need delete completed task. I can use this one. Okay, I delete action. No, I will need to create, because there we have mentioned specific type, or I can add here itself I action type dot delete completed task. Okay, and inside to do provider, with that to do provider I can copy this as it is. Instead of delete, I can use delete completed task. I'm not going to delete from active task, so here I need completed task. Okay, let me format it, and this delete task method. Okay, here I can clone it. Okay, I can copy it, delete completed task action. So instead of active task, I can have completed task. Okay, so here it will be completed tasks. Okay, this I can use. We will get filter data. I need to use this function now in delete completed at this place. We have completed task, not a action. Okay, so let's save it. Let's call on task delete method. Let's create on task delete. We will get id as a parameter, and we need to dispatch type action type enum dot delete complete task, and we need to pass data. Inside data we need to pass id. Okay, that's all we need to do. Again, we need to add warning to that. So how we can do, if window dot confirm, and we can have we can import the to do string from one back folder string to do string dot. So delete confirm. If that is okay, if user click on okay, then only we are going to dispatch. Okay, fine. So let's check again kernel time. It is asking, that is fine. Let me complete it. So here we are not showing any message if there is no active task. So we can add that inside task list. If there is, how we can write, we can write a condition if there is active task, then we are going to render. Okay, else, let me remove this, else we have a message bar, correct, message bar from, okay, message bar from Fluent UI. Let's look here, message bar. Okay, go to the code, this one, message bar, let's import. Okay, it is not showing no code action available. Why this one? Okay, now it is showing React. We can add message no records found to show, records to show. Okay, the same thing we can do in the completed task as well. Let me copy it. So at this place, instead of active task, we need to use this one, message bar we need to import, and this is no need now. Okay, so whenever we will not have any record, it will show in this way. Okay, so as application perspective, it is completed. Font is not looking good, so we can go inside application, sorry, index.css, and remove this font family and check. Okay, now it looks good. You can add some styling as well, that's not a problem. Please subscribe and like the video, provide your comments, because this is a very lengthy video, so I don't know how much of you guys are watching. So if you are watching till now, please write down your comments, like you are watching, you are completed. It will boost my energy to create new videos. Also share this video with your friends. Thank you.